How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Amatsutsumi. So, in the last episode, we got the ball rolling with Mana's route. We got a little bit of a glimpse into her past. We met Nozomi, which is, I guess, her now dead sister, because the epidemic that was circulating around the village also affected her. And it seems as if Nozomi may be responsible for the whole snow thing that's kind of stuck on Mana, maybe? Or at least there's some sort of connection there. So, that's fun. And Mana has been very clingy to Makoto, which I guess is normal since they're engaged or whatever. And now they're gonna go grocery shopping now that school is done. And I'll be honest, Mana is not as annoying and boring as I thought that she may be so far to start off this story here. So far so good. As we wait for Kokoro at the front gates, we watch the steady stream of students heading home.
もしかして今夜の夕食もお兄ちゃんが作るつもりなの?
Mana peers over my shoulder as I read through the shopping list that Azuki gave me. Yes, I am. I want to reduce Mom's burden as much as possible. Have any requests? The shopping list just contains broad suggestions for things we might want to have handy, not ingredients for a specific dish. It's up to me to decide how to put these ingredients together. There are many recipes I'd like to try out, but in fact, there are so many options that I can't decide on one.
お兄ちゃんが作るものなら何でも構わないわよ。
No, I mean, I'm happy you feel that way, but that doesn't help me decide. If you had to pick something, what would you pick? I ask her again and she strokes her chin as she thinks.
そうね。それなら肉がいいわ。
Meat, huh? That's a pretty vague answer, but at least it gives me somewhere to start. Everyone likes meat, and considering how hot it is these days, it'll be good to eat something hearty. It's not a bad idea. I'll take it.
ごめんね。遅くなって。
Kokoro runs up to us from the direction of the school building. That took a while. Did something happen?
掃除当番の場所が体育館だったから時間かかっちゃって。
She bends over with her hands on her knees, catching her breath.
お疲れ様ね。ありがとう。ってもしかしてマナちゃんも一緒にお買い物行くの?
Yeah, she said that she wanted to stop at the bookstore on the way.
あ、もしかしてあれの続きを買うつもり?
She giggles and looks at Mana.
ご明察。
Mana smiles back at her in return.
じゃあ私がお金出すね。いいわよ。私が読みたいんだから。読み終えたらそのまま心にあげるわ。いいの？ありがとうマナちゃん。お礼を言うのはこちらの方よ。勧めてくれてありがとう。思っていたよりもずっと面白くていい時間つぶしになっているわ。そう言ってもらえると嬉しいね。
Kokoro smiles shyly at the praise.
ホタルには私のおすすめは現実味が薄すぎていまいちとか言われちゃうから、確かに自分でもちょっと夢見すぎかなって自覚はあるんだけど。あら、むしろそこがいいのに。マナちゃん、分かってくれる？ええ、どうせ作り物の世界なのだから少しくらい高等無形なものの方が私は好きよ。
Makes things a little interesting.
そうなの。
Apparently, Kokoro and Mana share a similar taste in manga. They're grinning at each other holding hands. I feel slightly left out, but I should be happy that the two of them get along so well. By the way, Kokoro.
なに兄さん。
It's about what we're having for dinner tonight. Mana says that she wants meat.
いいねお肉。私も賛成。
But there are a lot of different kinds of meat dishes. Do you prefer anyone in particular?
ハンバーグ。
She answers instantly, with a smile as brilliant as the cloudless blue sky. Yeah, nothing wrong with some good old Hamburg steak, as they call it. Or steak in general, just plain steak. I end up spending even more time in the bookstore than Mana does. There are so many interesting looking books, and I keep moving from one to the other trying to decide what to buy. In the end, though, I just buy a couple of magazines. I can come back some other time. Mana found the manga that she was looking for and is humming happily to herself. Apparently, she bought several more than Kokoro recommended to her on the spot.
ちょっと調子に乗って買いすぎたかな。本って重いよね。
Oh yeah. Both of Kokoro's hands are occupied by heavy-looking bags.
いいじゃない別に。せっかく完結しているのだからまとめて買った方が何度も通うより効率的よ。それにいいところで続きが気になって夜も眠れないなんて嫌だもの。
I think if she did have the next volume, she still wouldn't be able to sleep because she'd stay up to read it. I like manga too, but I didn't realize Mana would get so obsessed with them. Wow.
うん。でもね、連載を追いかけて読むのも、それはそれでドキドキするんだよ。どんなに先が知りたくても、絶対に待たなくちゃいけない。そのじれったさが切なくて。
少女漫画がじれったいのは内容だけで十分だわ。私
そこは一致しなかったか。残念。
Mana shrugs and Kokoro laughs. She said too bad, but she doesn't seem sad at all. I probably should have asked this a long time ago, but what is shoujo manga exactly? Oh man, it's a whole new world, man, and even I'm a little into it. I've been wondering for a while, and since they brought it up, I decided to ask. Of course, I know that there are many different genres of manga. By the name shoujo manga have something to do with girls, but I can't quite imagine what exactly that means.
改まってそう言われると、結構答えるのが難しい気もするけど。
Right now, I'm slowly reading through Orange. I picked up the first two of the complete collection volumes, so it's multiple volumes in each one. And I think that constitutes as shoujo. And then I've watched some rom-coms that I guess are also constituted as shoujo anime-ish. I don't know. I mean, to each their own, but there's a lot of nice slice of life and good romantic shows and manga that you can check out.
女の子の読者に向けて書かれた漫画ってことでいいのかな。
Yeah, that's the basic-ass description. She comes up with a basic definition after a little thought. That doesn't mean that only girls are allowed to read it though, right?
もちろん。誰が読んでもいいけど、想定している対象は女の子ですよっていうだけ。
Or guys like me that have mental health problems, right? Right?
年配の人とか男の人でも少女漫画好きって世の中結構いるみたいだし。
I see. Then that means I'm allowed to read it too. Once Mana's obsession dies down a little, maybe I'll borrow some from her to see what it's like. What kind of things is it about specifically?
それも難しい。
She squishes her eyebrows together as she thinks it over.
最近は本当にいろいろなものがあるから。でもやっぱり恋愛ものが一番多いと思うよ。
私に勧めてくれたのも恋物語ばかりよね。
Mana looks happily into her bag. The manga she just bought must be a romance as well.
好きだから。
Love stories, huh? Then the plots must be pretty universal. There have been stories about love between men and women since time immemorial? Let's go with that.
でもなんていうのかしら。気持ちの揺れや動きをすごく丁寧に描いているのよ。だから自分とは違うタイプの登場人物でも、あ、そう思ってしまうわよねと理解して共感できたり。
そうそう。少女漫画は気持ちの機微を大切にするよね。少年漫画はどっちかっていうと、やっぱりアクションっていうか、やってることの見栄えを重視するけど。
Subtlety versus flashiness, I see. Subtlety, by the way. I don't know how to read anymore. I sort of get why those two genres would be aimed at girls and boys, respectively. Shoujo manga seems pretty interesting. I might be able to learn a lot from it. It could help me learn more about how all different kinds of people think and feel.
そうね。読んだらお兄ちゃんも少しは女心を分かるようになるかもしれないわね。
確かに。
The two of them look at each other and laugh.
でもあんまり詳しくなりすぎてもちょっと困るかな。
ねえ、お兄ちゃんは結局何を買ったの？
Mana turns the conversation in my direction.
私も気になる。ずいぶんうろうろして悩んでたよね。
Kokoro looks at my bag with interest. I picked out 2 magazines.
どんなの？
There were a lot of photographs in them. I think they're called gravure magazines.
まさかエッチな本？
I don't think there were many people in them though. Look. Realizing it'll be faster to just show them, I take one of the magazines out of my bag and give it to Kokoro.
なんだ、ただの旅行雑誌じゃない。
She breathes a small sigh of relief. There are lots of beautiful landscapes in there I've never seen before. I thought it was nice.
面白そうね。もう一冊は？
It's this.
あ、美味しそうなハンバーグ。
Before she's even opened it, her eyes start sparkling like a little kid's.
料理の本ね。
Yeah. I bought this one for almost the same reason. There are a lot of delicious looking foods in there I've never seen before. And there's even instructions on how to make them, so I'm sure this magazine will come in handy a lot in the future.
お夕飯の時間が今から楽しみ。
ええ、期待しているわ、お兄ちゃん。
I'll try my best. They seem to really trust my cooking, so I don't want to disappoint them. And anyway, I always enjoy improving my cooking skills. I don't need to be told twice. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to level up that stat in RuneScape. But also, that little soundtrack there was really nice. I don't think we've heard that one
いつもあり
yet.
がとう。またよろしくお願いします。
Kokoro bows and thanks to the butcher as she's handed a package of meat.
大したものね。
Mana looks on, at the scene with approval. Why? Because the butcher gave her twice as much meat as she paid for. And that was on top of a steep discount to begin with. It tells me she's got a really good relationship with this butcher, but
またいっぱいおまけしてもらっちゃった。
the meat isn't the only thing Kokoro is carrying. She also has another bag stuffed with vegetables. Before we came to the butcher, she got the same treatment as the grocer, or at the grocer. In fact, it was more like the butcher was trying to one-up the discount that the grocer gave her.
この手の買い物は心に頼むのが良さそうね。
Yeah, I could never do that. You're amazing, Kokoro.
そうかな。みんな親切だから通っていればサービスしてくれると思うよ。
She laughs it off as if it's nothing. But I think she has something special that makes the shopkeepers want to do her favors. She's not even using a kotodama. What a feat. Hey, you know, sometimes looks, personality, and who knows what else is all you need.
またずいぶん派手におまけしてもらったのね。
Azuki-san pokes her head in as I'm making dinner. Mana and Kokoro were carrying a lot of bags, so they're tired and are resting up on the second floor. The cafe is closed now, so naturally there aren't any customers around either. It's not like Kokoro went out of her way to ask for a discount though. It was more like they were forcing it on her.
いつもそうなのよ。
She looks at the piles of different vegetables and meats and smiles wryly.
でも、さすがにここまで大量だと、ちょっと悪い気がするわね。うちに来てくれた時は、お礼に飲み物くらいサービスしなくちゃ。
Yeah, that might be good. Yeah, you know, it doesn't hurt to build like a relationship and kind of help one another out. It's not really going to hurt income or anything. When someone does you a favor, you can repay them with a different kind of a favor. It's kind of nice when things build chains like this. By the way, I've got everything under control here, so you don't have to watch. You can just hang out in your room and wait until it's ready.
わかった。そうさせてもらうわ。何度でも言っちゃうけど、高校息子を持って本当に幸せよ。ありがとう。
Yeah, the son that you never had, huh? She smiles happily and then walks back to her room with a spring in her step. I guess that means that she's feeling healthy. I'm glad. You know, now that I mention it, I really hope that there's a little bit more to Azuki's story. And, you know, what's going to happen to Makoto, by the way, because he kind of, you know, gave his life force to her. I hope that it just didn't, like... I don't know. I think Mana most definitely helped, but I don't want that to be like a shoehorn excuse for, you know, okay, now everything's okay and there's no consequences. There has to be consequences. But more on Azuki. I hope that we get to know her a little bit more. I don't know if there is much more to really get to know about her, but she's a really good supporting character. Now let's see. I need to make 4 dinners, time to roll up my sleeves. There's Mana. Or so I thought, but now Mana is here. Maybe she wants something to drink. What's up? Already finished reading your manga? No, there's no way you read it that fast. She seems to have become fairly fast at reading, but still, there were way too many books in those bags for her to already be done with them.
ええ、漫画は後で読むわ。それより、お兄ちゃんと一緒にいたい気分なの。
Again, she has been pretty damn clingy. I'm also almost out of water. That is not good. She looks over the piles of ingredients on the table in front of me.
改めて見ると、すごい量ね。
We'll have plenty to eat for a while. I plan to preserve some of it, since we can't finish it all very soon. The book I just bought talked about that a little bit. If you preserve some foods in certain ways, it's also more convenient to cook them later, apparently. You can help me if you like.
私？
She looks at me, a little surprised. She seems not to have expected me to make such an offer. Yeah, you said you wanted to hang out with me, but I thought you might be bored just standing there and watching.
そうね。たまにはいいかしら。
She accepts more easily than I thought she would. Soon she's standing next to me.
でも、料理なんてずいぶん久しぶり。足を引っ張らないといいけど。
I don't think there's too much to worry about. Back in the village, she did used to cook a fair amount. Of course, the kinds of tools and seasonings people use here are a world apart from what we used in the village. Still, basic things like washing and cutting vegetables are mostly the same everywhere, I'm sure.
何をすればいいのか教えて。
Okay, can you get started on the carrots and potatoes? I'm going to use them as garnish for the Hamburg steak.
わかったわ。
She seems to be in a good mood as she reaches towards the mountain of vegetables.
洗って、皮を剥いて、食べやすい大きさに切ればいいのよね。
Right, I leave it to you. She giggles to herself as she rolls up her sleeves. What?
楽しいわね。なんだか、昔のおままごとを思い出すわ。
Ah, Mana and I and Nozumi used to play together a lot when we were young. Since we were 2 girls and 1 boy, we naturally ended up playing girlish games more often. But this time we're not playing, so we have to make sure the end result is edible.
わかっているわよ。自分で食べるんだから。
She pouts a little, but obediently starts to carefully wash the vegetables. I don't know, they kind of make a pretty good pair, which explains their already established connection. With Mana's help, making dinner didn't take as long as I thought it would, so we had plenty of time to enjoy our dinner as a family. The centerpiece, the Hamburg steak, was well received. Kokoro even requested we have it for lunch tomorrow, and Mana agreed. Well, I made a lot and froze the leftovers, so it should be easy to recook it tomorrow morning. It'll be faster than making something from scratch, too. Whew. The dishwashing and cleanup is all done, so I sit down on the couch to rest. Mana's still in the bath, so in the meantime, I decide to read the magazines I bought. I already looked through the cooking one a fair bit, so I pick up the travel one.
お風呂、出たわよ。
Well, that was fast. After I flip through the pages for a while, Mana comes out of the bathroom steaming. Oh, already. That was fast. Kokoro and Mom have already had their baths, so I'm the only one left. Since nobody's waiting for me, I guess I'm not in any rush. I want to keep reading the magazine for now.
例の雑誌ね。面白い？
Yeah, I think it's especially interesting for us. I move the magazine so that she can see it more easily. Sitting next to me, she slowly flips through the pages. The pleasant smell of her shampoo tickles my nose. Her skin and the tips of her hair are damp and very alluring. This is sexiness that you can smell. All right,
た
buddy.
め息が出そうな美しさね。とても同じ世界とは思えないわ。
Yeah, it's kind of reminding me of Attack on Titan. Like, hey, look, this ocean. Yeah, it exists. I don't know where. I don't know if it's real. Each and every one of the photos in the travel magazine are stunningly beautiful. In the village, the words travel and tourism meant practically nothing to me. Now, knowing that there's so much beauty in the world, makes me all the more impressed with it.
あら、この写真、ちょっと似ていると思わない？
You're right. The photo is captioned, Mother Nature's Beauty, a remote mountain hot spring resort. And indeed, the scenery reminds me of our village. Apparently, it's a very popular vacation spot, and the article highly recommends it.
私たちの里も、こういう雑誌に載せたら、人が行きたいと思うような場所なのかしら。
Oh, I'm sure, actually. They might. There's no denying that our village has the beauty of nature on display. Though I wouldn't recommend growing up there. It's too cramped.
ねえ、見て、すごいわ。
Mana suddenly stops on a particular page and her face turns serious. What is it? Wow, that is a massive bath. Looking at the page that she has open, I see it's about a hotel that's known for its large bathhouse. It's gigantic. It looks as big as a small lake. I've never seen a bath this huge. You could swim in it.
そっちじゃなくて、その下。
Oh. As directed, I move my eyes down the page. Wow, that is quite a feast. The picture shows a room just as big as the bath, with multiple tables covered in all different kinds of food.
バイキング形式で食べ放題と書いてあるわ。
All you can eat. Does that mean you can eat as much as you like of all this food?
そうみたい。
At a glance, there must be at least 100 different dishes in the picture. It looks like it would be a lot of fun to sample so many different kinds of food in one place, and it would teach me a lot about cooking. But I think my stomach would explode before I could eat all of that.
ケーキやドーナツ、甘いものもいろいろあるみたい。素敵。
It's just like Mana to be more drawn to pictures of food than to grand vistas. Yeah, they have everything covered.
夢のようなもてなしだわ。
As she leans forward to see the photos better, her yukata shifts around her shoulders and the neck deepens. Her firm, pale cleavage peeks out at me. I've slept with Mana more times than I can count. That means I've seen her naked countless times too, so simply seeing her cleavage doesn't make my heart skip, or anything. But I still can't help staring at it.
スイーツは専属の一流パティシエが手作りしており、だって、パティシエって何かしら？外国人の料理人の名前？
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck that is. If I remember correctly, I look back at the magazine and try to recollect. It's a foreign word which means a craftsman of sweets, I think. I think it might have been on the cover of one of the books I saw in the bookstore earlier. But that book was pretty expensive, so I didn't buy it.
そう。つまり、一流のお菓子職人が作っているわけね。
Oh, excuse me, do you want to go to this hotel if you ever get the opportunity?
行けるものならね。近くにあるのかしら？
I see that the address is written on the corner of the page. It says Hokkaido. That's the northernmost part of Japan. That is pretty far.
残念だわ。この町にこういうところがあったらよかったのに。
That would be nice, but then going there wouldn't be traveling, wouldn't it? One of the most fun things about traveling is probably the fact that you go some distance away from your home. Well, for Mana and me, coming from the village to here was already quite a journey. Look at this. Don't you wish you could see these sights with your own eyes? I turned the page to see a full-page spread showing an ocean beach.
別に思わないわ。
Her voice loses its heat.
ここに来て湖は見たし、あれと大きさが違うというだけでしょ？
No, the ocean is saltwater, and the waves are apparently much more impressive.
だとしても。見て。それからどうするのよ？
I mean, she kind of has a point compared to like other locations like mountains and shit, where as you go further and further, there really is a lot more to see, more structure in the landscape and this and that. You go to the ocean and you see the ocean. Well, I guess just look at it. I don't have anything in particular I want to do with the ocean.
なら、こうして写真で見れば十分じゃない？わざわざ労力をかけていくことはないわ。
Apparently, she doesn't see any value in the act of traveling itself. It might be partly because of the taboo which we all grew up with, which forbade leaving the village. but I've only become more interested in traveling to other places after I left the village and came here.
あれ何してるの？
Kokoro peeks her head out from her room and then comes to join us. We're reading the travel magazine I bought today. It's full of places that I want to visit.
まあ、そういう気持ちにさせる旅行雑誌の目的だもんね。
She laughs and then peers over our shoulders at the open page.
ああ、沖縄の海。いいよね。私も行ってみたいと思ってるんだ。実際に見ると、写真で見るよりもさらに綺麗だって。すごく感動するらしいよ。
I want to tell Mana I told her so, but I decide to continue the conversation with Kokoro instead.
いいなあ、沖縄。お母さんも元気になったし、みんなで海遊びしたいよね。
That sounds great. Kokoro was telling me a while ago that she wanted to go to the beach.
マナちゃんもどう？一緒に新しい水着買って。
私は興味ないわ。おやすみ、二人とも。
Mana stands up silently and walks quickly into Kokoro's room. Good night.
おやすみ。
Kokoro bids Mana good night in a small voice. Once Mana closes the door behind her, Kokoro turns around to face me again.
兄さん、私何か変なこと言った？マナちゃん怒らせちゃったのかな？
No, not at all. I don't think she's angry at all.
でも、あんな急に出ていくなんて。
It's true that she probably left because she didn't like the conversation topic that Kokoro brought up. She just got done telling me that she didn't want to visit the ocean after all. She probably just didn't want to stay out of bed too long after her bath. She gets cold really easily, you know.
あ、そっか。
Kokoro nods, apparently satisfied with my explanation. Kokoro, you shouldn't stay up too late either. I'll go take my bath now.
わかった。おやすみなさい、兄さん。
Good night, Kokoro. Well, I can think of a couple things here for Mana's, I guess, change in attitude, if you want to call it that. One, she might just actually dislike the ocean or the thought of it. And she just flat out has zero interest in it
兄
at
さん
all.
って、やっぱり女子力高いよね。
I am curious about that line, but another thing is that it could be related to Nozomi. There could be some sort of connection where she just refuses to go. Like, she will never go anywhere like the ocean ever. Or something along those lines. I have absolutely no idea. Just a couple guesses to throw out. As I'm fanning the lunches I just made to cool them down before packing them, Kokoro offers an odd comment. Girl skills? What does that mean? The paper fan in my hand stops as I try to process what she's saying. I don't think I've heard that phrase before. Yeah, me neither.
どういうって、そのままだよ。女子の力って書いて、女子力。
Sorry, but I still don't get it. I can't picture what exactly she could be referring to. Is it like skills for interacting with girls? That doesn't sound right. Mana, do you know?
さあ。でも、教室でも、時々耳にするわね。
Mana shrugs.
いわゆる、女の子らしさ、みたいなものじゃないの？
まあ、ざっくり言うとそういうことだよ。
You mean I look girly? Nobody's ever said that about me before. Now I'm even more confused. I mean, look at me. There's no way anyone would ever mistake me for a girl. I might not be a big burly man, but still.
その、外見的な意味で女っぽいとかじゃなくて、でも、女子力に見た目も含まれないではないんだけど、今言いたいのはそういうことじゃないっていうか。
Yeah, still no clue.
もしかして、男の人に好かれやすい要素。
そうそれ男の子にモテそうなアピールポイントってこと。
Well, yeah, I get what you're saying, but that still equals being like girlyish.
料理が上手とか、細かい気配りができるとか。
Right? Maybe? I don't know. This is weird. This is a weird conversation. I have to say I have no desire to be attractive to other boys. After meeting Koichi, I've come to appreciate having male friends. But friendship and sexual attraction are different things. At least they are to me.
なるほどね。
Mana looks at me knowingly.
つまり、もしお兄ちゃんが女だったら、男の子たちが恋人や妻にしたいと思いそうだ。と？
そういう感じ。
If I was a girl, that hypothesis seems meaningless on its face. Things like being considerate of other people don't have anything to do with gender anyway. Sorry, I still don't really get it. I still think you're a cute girl even if you do suck at cooking.
ありがとう。でも、どうせなら料理も上手な方がとか思わない？
Maybe? Not really? God damn. The way I see it, everyone is born with strong points and weak ones. Of course, people often try to conquer their weaknesses and improve at things they're bad at. I think that's laudable, but sometimes you just aren't cut out for certain things.
ちなみに、男子力というのはあるの？
それはあんまり聞かないね。なんでかな？
Kokoro frowns. Well, if she doesn't know, there's no way Mana or I would either.
さっきの定義に従うなら、どういう男の子と付き合いたいと思うかよね。
I guess it would. Kokoro, what do you think? She frowns harder, thinking deeply.
私が苦手だから、料理が上手だと嬉しいかな。でもそういうのは強いて言えばで、私を大事にしてくれる優しい人がいいな。
ねえ、それってお兄ちゃんのことじゃないの？
そう言われればそうかも。
Apparently, I meet her requirements for a boyfriend. Haha, too bad it's not your route. I don't mind being told that at all, I'll admit. In the end, it seems like none of these girls' skills or boys' skills have anything to do with gender after all. At least as far as I can tell, it's more about good extra qualities you have as a person.
まあ、なんとなくの勝手なイメージだから、イメージ。女の子はそうであってほしい、みたいな。
She sighs quietly.
でも自分でも、ちょっと憧れる部分はあったりして。
料理ができるようになりたいということ？
If so, want to practice with me at some point? I don't know about all this girl skills stuff, but if Kokoro wants to improve herself, I'm always happy to help. And if she learns some new skills that she could use in the cafe, that might help ease Azuki-san's burden too. After all, I don't know whether I can stay here forever, excuse me.
いいの？
Of course.
やった兄さん、ありがとう。
Kokoro bounces up and down and shakes both my hands.
お兄ちゃん、心にばかり甘い気がするわ。
We've been spoiling everyone since we came here. Then do you want to join us too, Mana?
遠慮するわ。別にこれ以上、料理の腕を磨きたいとも思わないし。
Mana glances at the clock.
そろそろ出た方がいい時間じゃない？心、あなたカバンは？
あ、忘れてた。取ってくる。
She scampers up the stairs to her room. Don't run on the stairs, you could trip. I yell after her, but I'm not sure she can hear me.
本当に。甘いわよね。
Do you think so?
そうよ。まあでも、気持ちはわからないでもないわ。
Mana looks in the direction of Kokoro's room upstairs.
妹を持つって、こういう感じなのね。
Yeah. I think I understand how she's feeling right now. She and Nozomi were twins, but Nozomi was a little older, so Mana was always treated as the younger sibling. But now she has a chance to play the role of an elder sister instead. There must be many differences that she's noticed and thoughts that she's had about it.
のぞみも、こういう感じで、私のことを見ていたのかしら。
It could be. Since the lunches have finally cooled to room temperature, I put the lids on the lunchboxes and wrap them in handkerchiefs. Here, Mana, your lunch.
ありがとう。ね
As she takes the lunchbox from my hands, she leans in and hugs me. Mana, what is it? I brace myself for a repeat of yesterday morning, but she doesn't do anything
え、
further.
どうもしないわ。ただなんとなく、こうしたかった。
After nestling her face in my chest for a little while, she steps away again. I hear Kokoro rushing down the stairs.
お待たせ。行こう。
Okay. I give Kokoro her lunchbox and pick up my own bag. I don't know what to think. The three of us walk leisurely up the road to school. The sky is clear of clouds. No, it isn't. And it looks like it's going to be hot again. In fact, it already is hot. I don't think the village got this hot in the summers. Maybe it's because it was at a higher altitude? Despite the heat, Kokoro sidles up next to me and takes my hand. With her other hand, she takes Mana's hand.
何の真似？
Mana looks at Kokoro, mystified.
手をつなぐの好きなの。体温を感じるのって気持ちよくない？一人じゃないぞーって感じがして嬉しくなるっていうか。
そうね。わからないでもないけれど。
Looking amused, she stops for a moment and shakes off Kokoro's hand. Then she circles around to the other side of me and plasters herself to my arm.
どうせならこれくらいしっかり密着した方がもっと暖かくて気持ちいいわ。
I feel her soft breasts envelop my entire upper arm. I have to say, I also prefer Mana's method of hand-holding. A blush rises to Kokoro's cheeks as she stares at us. I feel like we've been through this
いくら
before.
なんでもそれはちょっとやりすぎだと思うよ、マナちゃん。
どうして？手をつないだくらいでは物足りないと思わない？
Mana smiles seductively at me and wraps herself even tighter around my arm.
それはそうなんだけど、でも
She opens and closes her mouth, but can't seem to think of what to say.
腕を組んでいるところを見られたら恋人なのかなって思われるだろうし。
いいじゃない。お兄ちゃんが恋人って思われても。
This time her mouth stays hanging open. She turns to me as if to ask for help.
兄さんはどう思うの？
It might be fairly troublesome, but if you or Mana want to do it, I don't really mind. People did see Mana and me feeding each other in the courtyard yesterday. I guess this isn't that big of a deal in comparison. If we start going further than that, it could be pretty bad if people saw us. But Mana doesn't seem to be heading in that direction. Kokoro, do you want to link arms too? I lift up my hand, or the hand that she's holding, to encourage her.
私はいい。
She hesitates for a while before answering, averting her eyes from me the whole time. And we're not going to push her to do anything like that because, you know.
すごい。これが本当の両手に花ってやつですね。
Hey yo, what up Hotaru? Through no fault of my own, I might add.
おはよう、ホタル。
Kokoro hurriedly lets go of my hand and flashes an awkward smile at Hotaru.
おはよう、ココロ。何を照れてるわけ？
In contrast, Hotaru looks as calm as ever. She looks at Kokoro meaningfully.
やっぱり見られたのちょっと恥ずかしいし、何を今更って気もするけど、まあそれがココロンだよね。
She sighs as if to say, I give up, and then turns to Mana.
対照的にこちらはまるで照れたご様子がありませんね。
ええ。だって照れる理由なんかないもの。
そうでしょうね。
This time, Hotaru looks meaningfully at me. What?
なんでもありません。行こう、ココロン。兄さん、マナちゃん、また後でね。
Kokoro waves goodbye and heads to her classroom with Hotaru. Mana squeezes my arm again. Don't tell me you plan to stay like this all the way up to the classroom.
それも面白そうね。でも
Laughing, she lets go of my arm.
変に騒がれてしまうのも面倒だからやめておくわ。無駄に言霊を使うような羽目にはなりたくないものね。
She starts walking again. I quickly follow her. You know, I will admit, now that I think about it, it doesn't seem like we've seen Mana use a lot of her kotodama here. I wonder if that has anything to do with anything. Or maybe I'm just oblivious. I have no idea. But we'll end it here, and this will be the final Let's Play video that I upload to the channel for 2022. So if you're watching this as it comes out, we'll get ready for a big ol' Happy New Year. If you're not watching this when this comes out, then sorry for the weird statement, but yep, this is it for the year, and I've kind of stuck with Amatsutsumi to finish out the year. It's really all I have on my plate as I wait for Chaos Head to properly be ready to record a little bit more. But that was the only other thing I was recording here at the time. And yeah, happy to finish off the year with this. This has been a lot of fun so far. I hope you guys are all enjoying it. I think I've been informed that we're a little bit past halfway, statistically, which is all fine and dandy. But I'm ready for more wacky and wild kotodama-related shit to happen. And I hope you guys are as well. So, thank you all for watching this episode. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz. And I will see you all in the next one. Take it easy.